Well, put up another video. I kind of want to talk about, a good YouTuber a little bit here, I'm sure if all of you, or if anybody really, out there, if you were subscribed to him, you knew him, and I'm talking about Adam the Woo, or the Daily Woo. I know he had I think he had two channels there. He had what, and, I always say if you knew him, you knew him, I've been watching videos. I've been watching his videos, even some of his latest videos, kind of as, memory, good memory, And even like a lot of his good close friends that really knew him, spent time with him, they said it's hard to forget about him. You can't. You can't forget about a good person, a very loving, caring person. You can't. You don't forget, man. It's like whether you really knew him or not. You don't forget about good people that really just touched you inside. Really. And Adam did, even with me. I always enjoyed his videos. He made his videos fun, entertaining, funny. I mean, and it's hard that that again, we're not going to see no more videos from him. We're not going to see no more videos. It's going to be rough, but I mean, yeah, we have all his old videos always to look back. And like I said, I've been watching all the cool videos that everybody's been making, talking about him, and it's hard to hold back the tears. And I will always say, you never apologize for crying, man. That just goes to show what good hearts you have, and you're expressing your feelings, and there's nothing wrong with expressing your feelings, man. At the end of the day, we're all human, man. It don't matter, man or woman, man. When you lose somebody that meant so much to you, you don't hold back them tears, man. And there's no ashamed to, let them tears out. You don't. I always say that, man. If somebody apologizes to me for crying, it's like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you apologizing? Why are you apologizing? There's no need for apology at all. But and watching all the videos that I think it was neat, even like last night, it was neat that all the people that went to his house and everybody that just knew him or didn't, or just knew him just like I did, just watching his videos, I wish I could have got the chance to meet him. I'm sure it would have been amazing, but it's like, it's like, but it was nice to see that, like, so many people went to his house and, so many people, that so many people went to his house and, they just put all kinds of gifts. I think what was funny, because Adam was always the Starbucks or Dunkin's or whatever, the coffee. Everybody was putting like Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks coffee cups around, and all the flowers and like the Mickey Mouses, and just it was cool, man. And everybody was writing on the sidewalks in front of his house, like, just, we'll miss you. You'll never be forgotten. Rest in peace. And I watched that video and it was like, that was amazing. And even up on a billboard, they put his face, rest in peace, and like, I thought that was just like, that was amazing. It's like, my good, that's how many people loved him, loved his videos, knew, that, and that just goes to show, man, when you have that big of an impact, and whether you're on social media or YouTube or not, like when you're just always out there, like all of us should be, living life, enjoying life, and you just are, again, a good person, and you just go out there and not like you see everybody else in this country. You see all the violence and the amount of hate people have in their hearts. Adam didn't have that, and I think none of us, I don't, I feel, no, man, we all need to take a chapter off of Adam and just man, we all can't be, like we all have our hurts, struggles, this, that. But we all just gotta still, man, no matter what, just get out there and live life, man. Enjoy life, and but be respectful to one another, love one another, be positive. Like stop, everybody wants to always look at the bad, of everything, the negative of everything, and it's like, even if you're having a bad day, realize, hey, you know what? Something good might happen. Something good might come your way. I always have that. Like, no matter what I'm feeling or going through, whatever, it's like, you know what? Someday, something good might happen. Something good might come my way. Like, you just can't always think negative. And Adam, and watching all his friends, that really knew him said, like, even the person you've seen on camera, was like that in real life. Because, some people say, when you watch people's videos, they just put on a kind of a persona or whatever, like, but off camera they're probably way different. It's like he wasn't, and well, even like me, man, it's like the way you see me on camera, it's like, dude, no, man, I'm the same way off camera, man. I love and respect everybody, and I would, I love getting to know people and new people, and and I'm the same, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, we all have to learn to love and care and respect one another. Like I said, there's so much hate. You see it. There's so much hate going on in this country, in this world, and it's crazy the amount of hate that is going on, and But I just wanted to make this video a little bit. Like I said, I never knew Adam. Like I said, I never met him, but I still wanted to make a little video talking about him because, again, he was a fantastic YouTuber. And because of him, I got to see, and subscribe to even all the other his friends, and they're all a bunch of great people. I'm proud of all of them. I hope all you guys keep making videos. Adam would want you to keep making videos. He'd be, telling you not, don't you quit, because I'm not around no more. He wants you guys all to keep pushing the videos, and I hope you guys do. And like I said, it's going to be hard not to see, new videos from Adam. It's gonna, but I'm sure for a lot of you feel the same, like that. Everybody that watched his videos every single day, like every time he uploaded a new video, you were immediately watching it. Like you had the notifications on, so you knew exactly when his a new video was uploaded. It's gonna be hard, but again, man, rest in peace. And I give my blessings to his family, because, mix, all of my love and that to his family, But he definitely, like I said, will not be forgotten, man. Like I said, you don't forget great people, good people. I mean, there's good in everybody. I can't, you know what I mean? I mean, to me, there is good in everybody. It's just a lot of it is people are just want to be stuck in being hateful, negative, bitter, and always looking at the bad and the worst of things. People are just really stuck in that rut, and I always pray every day that God helps touch people's hearts, uplift people, that get people out of that darkness and that rut of just wanting to be negative or hateful or just get out there and enjoy life, because you don't know when, it's like, you don't know when, that's going to be it for you. And a lot of you may think that Adam's life, only 51, got cut short. But I think, and like I seen in Spa Guy's video, I think God, knew that Adam's time was up. Even though, yes, still, he was 51, he still had a whole lot, But, God, Christians, and a lot of you, my true Christians, God has a plan for all of us. And sometimes, when we feel that, our time is limited on here on Earth. This is not our, permanent home. And you see when he went to Switzerland, how he's seen the cross of Jesus that they had. And then also that Paul, again, forgive me that my memory, but if you've seen the videos, but like Spa Guy was saying, and I knew Adam was a Christian, man, because I think his dad was a pastor. So, and I knew, like me and like a lot of us, Adam had the love for God, the love for Jesus, but and I just think God knew, like, hey, Adam fulfilled his time. Like God's the head honcho. He's our heavenly Father, the Creator, and it's like when He just knows like, hey, you fulfilled what you were supposed to do here on Earth. You accomplished what He wanted you to do, or you accomplished, And I just think God, for Adam, felt like Adam accomplished, even though. If you watched his last videos, Adam had plans for New Year's and even, but I still think, Adam still, he did. He accomplished what he wanted to in life, getting out there, always going on big adventures, goals, like he accomplished what he wanted to do. Even though he said he had plenty of stuff and plans for New Year's and even into, the new year, those goals ain't going to be, but at the end of the day, it don't matter because he still fulfilled everything, He still accomplished, a lot, And and I'm proud of him, and and everybody else, I'm sure, is proud of him. And, so, but again, we all just need to, like I said, always take a chapter out of his book and not be like Adam, because there's only one Adam in the Woo, but you know what I mean, but just be more respectful, loving, get out there, live, and just enjoy life. It doesn't matter what the chaos, the chaos you see happening around the country, or you see on the news. It's like, no, man, just get out there and live, because you never know. But get out there, be respectful, be kind to one another. Like, get out there, like I like to do it too. Be encouraging, uplift people. I love making someone smile or laugh, or because instead of the bitterness, all being full of hate, negative, always looking at the bad about things, come on, it's a new year, and it's like, I think that's one thing we all need to start changing, we all can make that change of making things better, But anyway, not to make this any longer, like I said, I just wanted to do a little talk about Adam, like I said, only because, like I said, he was a very good person, good guy, good YouTuber, and like I said, I just really wanted to do a little talk vlog about him, just to pay also my respect, to him, because again, it was hard when I found out, and actually it was from a YouTuber, but when I found out, I was like, please just let it be a joke, I mean, I know that I'm not trying to sound mean or cruel about that, but it's just, you just want it to be a joke, because it's hard to believe, like, what? Like, no, man, come on. It can't be true. And I even went and looked it up, like, what happened? Like, what happened to him, Like, I was trying to just, and really didn't find much, because I guess, like, it was still new, and so, and they really weren't saying much, like, what happened to him or how it happened. It was basic. He was unresponsive, wasn't answering calls. A friend or people just found him in bed, and that was it. Like, they didn't say, like, what happened to him or how, or, and it's tough even, too, that it happened before Christmas, It's always bad too when you lose someone good, or especially before the holidays, that just really puts a hurting. And I'm sure even for his family, it was probably hard to celebrate Christmas without Adam, and that's why, and hopefully I'm sure even a lot of you gave extra love and blessings to his family, because I can only imagine it probably wasn't easy celebrating Christmas without him, for his family, because, again, for something like that to happen before the holidays, how can you, it's like, how can you celebrate, you know what I mean? How can you enjoy the holidays when you just lost your loved one, you know what I mean? It's like, it's hard. It's like, how can you, I mean, they would want you to, it's like, they would want you to, but it's like, it's still hard, it's still hard to celebrate, But anyway, guys, like I said, again, rest in peace, Adam. Like I said, you will be missed, my friend, but you will not be forgotten, man. You touched so many people, your friends, like I said, and the videos that I've been seeing, and the amount of people that just, with the love and paying respects and going to his house. Like I said, if absolutely just incredible, absolutely incredible and amazing. But anyway, guys, this video's been long enough, I know, and I apologize, but once I start rambling, that's my problem. I ramble too much. I ramble I ramble too much, but like I said, I just want to make a video talking about Adam a bit, just like I said, pay respects, pay my respects, because like I said, a good YouTuber that, like I said, will definitely be